Hey guys, it's Mike with another GodForge video, third one of the day. We're running up on midnight here, so we're getting up on it, but having a lot of fun. I've been playing the game pretty much all day, or at least farming, just trying to get some different materials and such on the account. What do we got going on here? Is he dead? He's still standing there. I don't know. We're going to see if we can heal him. Let's see if we can heal him. Well, it won't let me click on him, but maybe he is dead. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Probably a little glitch there. Good timing. So there you go. I've got a dead Ramsey, and he's still standing there. But I have been pressing the account along pretty good, starting to sort of put together builds that make sense, depending on the champions and so forth that I'm building. So I moved Beowulf. I got him in some crit damage gear, as well as there we go. Got him in some crit damage gear as well as some attack and so forth. And got his crit rate up a little bit, so he's smacking pretty good. It seems pretty deliberate at this point in time. So feeling good about that. I have gone into manualing through these waves here just to kind of get my ultimates used at the right time. So that. Let's see if I was gonna say let's see if Ramses is dead when we get in here. But I did want to get pressed on as far as I can. I think I'm on stage 78, something like that. So we're kind of making some pretty good headway here. One thing I do think would be helpful is on this screen here, if whoever's turn it was highlighted in some way, like because there's some graphics in here that are pretty small. On the phone, I don't know you'd even be able to see them. But outside of that, it's really hard to know. If you don't know what whose ability is, it's kind of hard to tell from these graphics. So I would say if they maybe got bigger, maybe they lit up, something along those lines, just so that we knew who was actually whose turn it was. I mean, I guess you have this up here. So maybe that's all we need, but it's just one of those things I kind of struggle with as we're going through it. We're going to see if we can smack him down. We're hitting for 19,000. That's pretty good. As far as leveling characters up, it's been getting pretty slow as of late. I don't think I'm going to beat this. Oh, we lost our healer. That's not good. Let's see if we can get rid of this guy over here. And one more time. That should take care of him. And then I think this is only the second wave though, so I think we got a whole nother wave to get through here with our semi-dead alive Ramses sitting there doing that. So, oh, this is actually Odin, so this is a boss fight. We're definitely not going to win through here. If this is a boss fight, I should have been able to bring 5 characters in. I don't think I did. Beowulf almost took him out in one shot, so I do feel like my build on him is actually pretty decent, at least for the gear that I have. But yeah, that was floor 80, so we should have been able to bring in a 5th champion. But anyway, we'll try again and see if we can press on in that. One thing I have noticed is on the multiple 10s, you do have the ability to get legendary hero drops, as well as on the multiple of 5s. You have the same option on the heroes. You can get legendary drops there as well. All the ones in between will just give you different types of materials, but they don't do legendary drops for heroes. They can do it for armor, but not heroes. So that's just something to keep in mind as you're kind of going through these stages, or assuming you're part of the alpha, but something that I've learned going through the stages. I did start going back and get through some of the double stars, specifically on the early levels, because I have a couple of those guys just that aren't very built. But one thing I would say on this that's kind of difficult, if you go in here and you go to challenge, it says defeat the stage while placing mend on allies. It'd be nice to have an easy way to determine which heroes do mend. The other one was if you just have defeat a stage while placing accuracy down. Again, I don't know which heroes, so I got to go into the heroes, find exactly which ones will do that, as well as just the simple ones where it says, well, this one's using 5 ultimate abilities, but sometimes it'll just say using Slayer champions or 2 wisdom champions, and it's like, oh, well, what's a wisdom champion? Now I found out those are the blue champions. The blue champions are wisdom, but there's not really an easy way for me to click and say, oh, these are the heroes I have have that would fit this challenge. So I got to go back into the heroes, figure out which heroes fit the challenge, then come back and try to remember the 4 heroes that fit the challenge. So it's it feels very clunky from a user perspective. So I would recommend some sort of way of kind of filtering down the champions that allow you to get the 2 stars, because I think that would be really helpful as far as that goes. If we take a step back into my heroes, I have accumulated quite a few heroes. I did get Leonidas, which I was super excited about. But what I've run into is leveling heroes is I've got to a point where it's becoming pretty stagnant. So I'm at 4-star 40 on these guys here, and I'm working up towards getting some other 4-star 40s on the account. I haven't really been working on any food, and I think that's probably the King Arthur in me. I kind of forgot the grind of making food for like raid. So that's kind of a struggle, but if I come in here and I go into upgrade and I want to level this up, getting characters up to 4 stars is going to take a minute. It's going to take a lot. And even taking these guys from level 30 to level 40, I mean, I've been playing the game almost all day, and these guys just recently got maxed out. So there's a lot of grinding going on getting these characters up where they need to be. I have been stacking quite a few characters on the account and just kind of working through some of the challenges, got them leveled up. Here I got Tristan over here, but I'm trying to hold on to at least 1 copy of each of the rares and then kind of work through. But I mean, there's a lot of champions in this game. So I've been kind of going through. I could probably get her almost all the way chivalried up, or I don't know if it's chivalries. I guess they're upgrades. Awakening? I think Awakening. Yeah, so I could get her almost completely awakened as far as that goes. So that's kind of fun. I have been working on better and better gear for folks, as well as certain awakenings. Like we got Guan Yu here up at awaken level 4 already, which is pretty cool. And then we just keep going through these rares and getting more and more on the account. So I'm kind of stacking those up. But at some point, I should probably start leveling these guys up to 4 stars so they could start becoming food. Because you got to actually level these guys up to 3 stars before they become a 3-star food. And then from there, you take them all the way to 4 stars. So there's quite a bit going on in there to get these guys moving forward. One thing I did notice is in here, if you go into upgrade, they have these spirits that you earn along the way that take the place. Basically, they're like a chicken where you get to upgrade your champion for the spirit here. Might as well do that and start moving her towards something as far as some kind of food. But really, I need to actually farm a lot of food and get my get this 20 up to 30. Get this 20. I don't know. Let me see if I have another Isil down here. If I have another one, I'll probably take her up. Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. I want to keep a copy of all of them. I don't know why. But I take her up to level 30, and that way I can bring her up to 4 stars so I can start moving into a 5-star character. At this point right now, I'm really not sure which character I would 5-star. I think Ramses actually hits the hardest with AoE ability. Now Beowulf is smacking really well as well, but it is single target, but that does really help you out with boss fights. So far, I'd probably go Beowulf as a support champion. It's kind of hard to bring a legendary champion to 5-star that's not really bringing damage, but she does do shielding and that kind of thing. So I think Beowulf is the current move as far as for where my account is now. Leonidas might be better, but I don't have him leveled up, and it takes so much to get him to this place that it's probably, I don't know, maybe by the time I have the food to level into Beowulf, he'll be there. But so far, I got a lot of work ahead of me. It's kind of an interesting thing because the collector in me wants to go into these guys and start awakening them right away, get everybody that's level 5 awakened. But then the other part of me is like, at the end of these 10 days, I'm giving the account back, so I don't get to keep anything. So all of that stuff, if I'm not going to use the champion, it really doesn't make sense for me to do that. So I really should just utilize these guys as food, get the best account that I can build within 10 days. I was just trying to get all the people on the account that I could, so I just could have a copy of all of them to look over them, check out their kits, all that good stuff. So, but there's quite a few champions going on in this game, and I don't think I've even tapped into it yet. So I think the move for me at this point is to go back into the dungeon and find the furthest I can farm with probably Ramses, and just kind of start farming food up and try to get some 4-star chickens so that I can feed Beowulf and get him to 5-star. I think is really the next move for me. It'd really be nice to get, if you could actually get some of those spirits of the 4 stars, or feed up your 3 stars into 4 stars. For example, let's see here. I don't know if I can even look at them. It won't show me the 2 or 3 stars because she's only there. Let's see if I have somebody ready to go to 3 stars. But we could upgrade Leonidas here and take him. Let's see if we have enough. I just spent a bunch of gold. We do have enough. All right, so we'll promote him up to 30. And then if we went into here, we have, let's see here. So we have these 3 stars where it'd be cool if I could feed, 3 of these into a 4-star. That would be pretty helpful, but we're going to go ahead and do that there and select that and promote. And now Leonidas is up to 4 stars, so that's pretty good. We'll take that and start farming and getting him up to level 40 as well. So I think I'm going to go back and we're just going to farm some food, get it going. Probably going to put farming on overnight because they have the auto feature and I can run it, and I have not even gotten close. Like you can see, my energy is just stacking up. I've got 2,000 energy. So if I came into here and picked maybe stage 25 or stage 30 and something where I could farm it with, the reason for that is it gives me the option for that legendary hero drop, and then we probably take everybody out except for Ramses. Might as well leave him in there while we're getting some extra stuff on, and then we'll get these guys going as food. So we'll start this battle. We'll put it on auto run. The auto run seems to be pretty cool as long as you keep winning the battle. It keeps it moving, which is pretty cool. I do think the 2x speed is far too slow. The 2x speed literally feels like 1x speed. Like if you watch this in this, it does feel like 1 time, and then a 1x speed, it actually feels like half speed. So I think that we almost need twice as much speed going on here because these battles take a little bit of time, especially when you're kind of going through one by one with Beowulf and stuff like that. Ramsey's got that AoE ability that's super helpful. If I were to bring in Guan Yu as well, he would also have an AoE ability that does really well. If I built Lady Sock, I think that she would be able to do some AoE damage for me also. So there's a lot of things I could do to start building the teams up and kind of working on farming a little quicker. But ultimately, that was a good smack, 22,000 there. So maybe I could actually step it up, maybe go to level 35 and see what kind of rewards I can get there. Because we're getting 1 star here. I don't really need to spend too much time there. We'll pause this. Let's see if we can do stage 35 instead. So on the spirits, we have the rank 3 hero spirit as an option. We do have heroes coming in. We don't have any gear coming in here. That's the problem. So I think that to a certain extent, you really want to farm on the multiples of 10. But let's see if we can knock out stage 35 here, and maybe we'll press on to 45. Maybe we can do way better than I think we can do. There is a lot of lag and hesitation going on between stuff, and I don't know if it's just because my game's been open for I don't even know how many hours now. I think I literally started playing the game, I think around 10 o'clock, got it downloaded. Ran the 2 videos, have been editing those. Obviously, this is my 3rd video, and it is now almost midnight. So I've been playing for 14 hours. I did have a couple breaks in there where I had to go, make food and whatever. And so I tried to keep the auto battles rolling that entire time. But, some of the time it kind of froze up, or if you lose a battle, it'll freeze and stop the auto battles there. But I'm trying to give this an honest go to see if I can get this done. I feel like I've made a lot of progress, but at the same point in time, looking at what I have to do to get to a 5-star character is looking pretty daunting. And then what I need to do to go from 5 to 6-star and then get a whole team of 6-star, it's like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. But I do feel like as I get deeper into the dungeons, I will accumulate better experience or more experience, so the characters will level up a little faster. That being said, I'm not sure, like as I beat levels, it doesn't really tell you how much experience you get. So I'm not entirely sure if I'm getting more experience for boss fights or the just normal experience for boss fights. It can be worth it to farm on the boss because you get to have 5 characters, so you get basically an extra food getting experience. But if they're getting less experience and the fights are taking longer, stamina is not my problem, so I can, or energy is not my problem, so I can keep the energy going. So it's just a matter of what's the fastest way to get this done. But unfortunately, with 2 times speed, there is just not a fast way to get this done. Unfortunately, it just takes quite a bit of time. All the kind of the lagging between things and all that just slows it down just a little bit. Obviously, that'll be fixed by the time the game rolls around, and if I wasn't in a hurry, it wouldn't really be a problem anyway, because it is kind of an enjoyable experience playing with different characters and kind of seeing what they do as well. So that's pretty good. So I think that's another thing too, is you get these experience potions here that you can actually level characters up with. So even if you have folks that are maxed out, you're going to be getting experience that you can pass along to other champions. So it'd probably be better for me to use my best team and farm as deep as I can and get as many of these potions as possible. I'd probably be better off than trying to actually farm food. But that's kind of an interesting thing that's hard to know without knowing how much experience I get when I actually beat a level. But if we jump out here, take a look at our gear, especially on our Beowulf, we got crit rate here. We got the Jaguar that does crit damage, 15%, so an extra 30% crit damage. You see the stats are starting to stack up. HP is a little low at 8,200. Attack is almost up to 2,000, which I think is pretty strong, at least for his level. And then our speed's at 143, so we're getting a few extra turns that way. Crit rate's at 69%, crit damage is at 118. Could probably start moving. If I had better crit rate gear, I would definitely be working towards getting crit rate closer to 100 before we started moving that crit damage along. But unfortunately, gear for me, there's not. I have some, but there's not a lot of gear going on here. Got a legendary piece at level 2, so that's going to be probably not as good as these guys here with the 3rd level. Your main stats are just going to get a lot more, and then you get more in the substats too, just from being on that level 3. So when we look at the gear, you can see I've stacked up quite a few pieces of pretty decent gear. But I haven't really gotten into leveling it up. I started kind of going through here, but there's certain sets I was trying to put together and so forth, and a lot of these guys, that's actually not a bad one there, but a lot of them ended up with, man, these all have attack. I was going to say, I thought these had a lot of flat stats on them, so I didn't really want to put a lot of energy into them. And as far as champions with, accuracy and resistance, I don't really have anything going on in that space quite yet as far as trying to land debuffs and all that good jazz. I'm still just using the team that I have. So we'll start to work in that direction at some point in time. I think we could probably sell some of this gear here. I don't know there's a way to sell gear. I mean, obviously it's alpha, so I'm sure there will be a way to sell gear with the game. But on the alpha testing, I'm not sure there's actually a way to sell the gear itself. But after a single day, we're looking at, what do we got? We have 6 4-star characters. 4 of those are maxed out at 4 stars. I do have some. Let's see if we have any. Where are we at? Info. I'm still finding it a little difficult finding out where stuff is. Ascensions, that's what we're looking for. So we have 32 of those guys there. So we can stack those up and get some more ascensions there. But that's all. The nice thing is you can farm those things. I do think it'd be super cool if they brought in the same thing that King Arthur has, where if you wanted to ascend your champion and you're saying, oh, I want these guys here, you could actually say, where can I get these? And it would show you the levels that you could farm that would get you that exact item. That way you're not remembering, okay, it's the green one, but it's the one with 2 prongs, not the really spiky one, not this one. And then you got to go into the dungeon and go find that particular thing to farm. I think that that is one of the cool things I really like about King Arthur Legends Rise. So here you go. You have these guys available in this stage, potentially. Although I think that's just when you first get your first star on there. But I think we're going to go into here, we're going to get farming, and I'm just going to leave it on auto all night and just see if I wake up with 0. I don't think I will. I think you just continue to accrue. I'm going to go to stage 75 here. I think it's a pretty easy win for me. I have the opportunity to potentially get a legendary hero, which would be amazing. Also getting those green prong things we were just looking at. That'll help me awaken, or I think awaken. So we're going to go ahead and try this team right here. We've got a healer here in Emotep. If I'm looking for durability, running Emotep with Isis is really good. But I would like to at least get these two characters to level 40 if we could. So I'm going to give this a shot and see if it's sketchy or if we make it through without a problem. If we make it through without a problem, I'll probably go ahead and run it overnight and just see what I wake up to in the morning. Hopefully we're way further along in our process. Maybe get some materials on there, some of those experience potions, hopefully, as well as maybe a legendary character or two, or even a couple of epics would be super helpful also. But you get rares, you get all the different characters coming in on these levels, so potentially I'd be able to go ahead and get the rare characters I'm using maxed out, get them fully awakened, which would be pretty cool. But this is looking like a pretty comfortable farm, so I'm going to go ahead and just keep on keeping on. We're going to leave that on auto battles and we're going to call it a night. So day 1 is in the bags. We've got quite a few characters. We got Leonidas, who's probably one of my favorite characters that I saw in all the things leading up to it. Got all that experience coming in. That's going to be huge. And so I got him on the account, got Beowulf on the account. We got Isis. I'm trying to think. We also got Achilles. I haven't really played with him or worked with him yet, but that'd be another one I'd like to work on and see what he's up to. So we got some pretty cool things going on. We got a couple 4-star 40s. I was really hoping to get a 5-star in my first day. If I would have planned it differently, I probably could have. Just because I would have been utilizing more food champions that I was willing to feed when I got there, but I did not do that. I was too excited to build all the champions. I made the crucial mistake. They always tell you, get your 6-star champion first and then kind of come back and do the rest of it. But I'm spreading all my resources out amongst the ranks. But anyways, having a great time with the game. I'm exhausted. I'm going to go get some sleep. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you next time.